Okay, so hi Manali, good morning.
Hello, sir. Good morning. How are you?
I'm good. So my name is Arjun and I'm associated with EduShastra since last almost 10 years. And I'm an educator and mentor at EduShastra. So yes, with,
Okay. So
yeah,
as you have a little idea about my profile, that I have done my graduation in law, and for me, to get into this, I have done from Amity Law School, so that was a no-brainer for me. I was like, okay, I want to go for it, and because this college had a lot of impact in my life. I come from a very small city in Madhya Pradesh where there's a lot of scarcity of education. And then my father was a government servant, so it's like in every 3 years we used to move from one place to another. So this instability led to many disturbances in my life. And being the teenager, it was very tough for me to cope up with the instability and to adapt the changes which were happening at that time. And my major issue was that I was not with my communication, and then the other one is I gained a lot of weight, so I was not confident enough about my body and about my appearance. So once I've gone to this university, I got the complete new scenario, because because coming from a very small city in Madhya Pradesh and going to Delhi, that's itself okay, that's itself a huge achievement, that oh, it's a big city and how you gonna end up doing good things in there. Then but touch wood, due to God grace, I got into this university, and I happened to manage lose around 15 kgs in just 4 months. And then I was consciously talking to people, because in my class there was a diversification, so we have people around whole over the country and even
okay,
outside of the
okay.
country. So that gave me a chance to talk to the people just in English language, and even in my class no one talks in Hindi. So this consciously talking to people in English language has helped me a lot. And then there's the American web series. I got the exposure of American web series. That is also the huge
Mhm.
game changer for me. So yeah, then I
So,
got in.
okay, Manali, like as you are a law graduate, right? So
Yeah,
you must be having the information that we Indians have a written constitution,
yeah, correct.
right?
Yeah,
And in
yeah.
some countries like the US and some other countries, they are not having their written constitution.
But they don't
So
have
can you
it.
elaborate us the difference between a written constitution and a non-written constitution, and which one do you think is a more perfect or more precise?
Okay, so I guess it depends on country to country. Like
Mhm.
in India, if we take the example of India, here we give a lot of pressure to think on a written basis. Though
Mhm.
oral, also, like we have contracts like oral contracts and then written contracts, but the most pressurized we give is to written things. So that's why in our country it goes in that way. Like if there is a written constitution, we always follow that. Okay, there are basic principles or fundamentals, then there is duties, then there is fundamental duties, and we have a secularism
Mhm.
country. We have people whole around the world, so we
Mhm.
like whole around the religion, so we give a lot of focus to that. But if you go to
Mhm.
US and if you go to the other countries, the one thing they don't have a secularism. They
Mhm.
are the Christian country. So
Mhm.
for them, just being a oral constitution works in for them. Like they have a fundamental duties, but people are more afraid there. Not so
Mhm.
afraid there. I have heard so many stories of US, that there are people who are doing crime in front of everyone. They are harassing people. They are doing racism, but still they are going in a street without having a fear of it. But in country like India, if you are doing things like that in front of everyone, there are people who will gonna stand up for you, and there are people who will gonna say something for them. But that's, and I guess there's not a debate of being a written constitution or a oral constitution. I'll say it depends on the country to country. If their country works in that way, then that's a plus point for them. And if a
Okay.
country works, yeah,
So as you're talking about that, we Indian have a secular constitution, right? But
Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
constitution, we have say Hindu laws separate, Muslim laws separate, right?
Yeah.
So we
Yeah.
have already
Yeah.
divided all these laws depending on the like
Yeah.
caste.
Yeah. Yeah.
So how can you say that this is a secular constitution?
So, first thing now, there's a case going on in Supreme Court. The petition has already written there that we are coming with a one law for every religion, like single law for every religion, whether it is
Right,
Hindu
right.
or Muslim. It's there, it's already there, but there is a lot of conversations going on, and then there's a cases going on. So yeah, that's in the process, but again, we are a secular country. We don't believe that, we don't differentiate people being Muslim or Hindu. Muslims are fine following their religion, but if they like, there was a triple talaq case that was a very bad for women. It was harassing the women's rights. So we like Supreme Court has given such an amazing decision for the women's in Muslim. And in India, we have some problems in uh, 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 this act, Hindu Act. Then Supreme Court always takes care the rights of the people. If the rights are not infringing, then we are good to go. Then there is no fight of women's
Mhm.
constitution, like Muslim laws or Hindu laws. So yeah.
Okay. So now these are like some old traditional laws. Now we are coming up with this a new type of crime like cyber crimes and all those types.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
how you prepare, like how the lawyers or how the advocates are dealing with all these new types of.
So there's a very amazing lawyer, Dr. Pawan Duggal. He was the giant of cyber crime. So as we all know that we are moving to a digitalized world. We are doing everything digital. So there are drawbacks of going so digital in the platforms, that there are people who are infringe your privacy. Then there are people who will harass you. So we have law, that is cyber law, which is cyber law, IT's laws, which are there to help you. And now,
Mhm.
because lawyers are getting so much into cyber crimes, and because it is such an amazing field of work, and it is growing so much, then there are people who are coming for cyber laws and cyber crime. So we have it's just people who are facing problem, that person should come in front, that person should able to communicate and articulate their problem in front of the lawyer, in front of the police. Because somehow that people is fine, having done harassing on them, but they are not fine in coming forward and saying something about it. So I'll say, for that we need to educate people. We need to
Mhm.
educate people, and that I'm very up for it. In 2015, me and some of my friends, like not friends, me and one of my friends had opened one NGO, that is Seva Karo. And we are still working for it. We basically take money from the crowdfunding, and we give it to these small kids and children and women. Until now, we have collected over 3 lakhs rupees, and we are using that fund. We are utilizing that fund for the education of the children, and also for the women. So yeah.
Okay. So okay. So what about like
Yeah, yeah,
so I'm saying that if I talk about the laws of some Middle East country like Saudi Arabia, etc., they are very tight, they are very stringent about the law. But
yeah.
the same crime when we are having here in India, so this will be taking a long, long duration, like 10 years or 15 years of going into the court and everything. So, what are the suggestions you can suggest so that there is a fear of law in India also?
I guess in India, we have this platform named arbitration tribunals. So these are the ones who are basically go for the speedy trials. And now all the companies, whether like it's all the private corporations are moving to arbitration trials, and which is very nice, which is they are giving judgments in like just 1 month or like 2 months, where like if you go to civil courts, actually the problem is our in our country there are so much of people, and there are very less judges and less authorities who can give that judgments in like just 2 days. We cannot do, because they are flooded with so many cases. But we have tribunals like arbitration tribunals, and there is insolvency and bankruptcy court, there is speedy trial tribunal. So all these tribunals are helping so much. They are now they are all the cases which are already in civil court, they are pivoting in these kind of tribunals. So we are getting judgments in like just 1 month or like 2 months. So that is very commendable. And if you talk about the Saudi Arabia laws, I guess their laws are very stringent. I am not much in a favor of their laws, because I have seen so many videos where they are beating women, they are beating children just because they are not wearing hijabs, and just because they are standing up for their rights as a woman. So I am not very much in the favor of their country and their rules and regulations. And it is very bad for the women, very 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 bad for the women, very stringent for the women. So yeah. And I'm happy that in country like India we have the right of speak. We can speak for ourselves, we can stand up for ourselves, and no one will gonna crash us, or no one will gonna question us. So that's something I'm very proud of it.
Okay, right. So, okay, sir, Vipul Sapir.
Sorry.
Yes. See, I'll start with the introduction first. I'm Vipul Parashar. I'm one of the directors here at EduShastra. Okay, I'll start with a very basic question. Why MBA?
Okay. So from the very start of my career, like once I done with my graduation, I started working. And then I moved to a big conglomerate, that is BMW Financial Services. It's an automotive company and it's a German company. So I was like, okay, I'll get some international exposure. From that time, I had an opportunity to work on negotiations, client counselings, and have a word with senior advocates. And then even in this company where I'm working, I am having a lot of client negotiations, and I'm basically marketing my legal services to the clients. So this having this, I was always very much enthusiastic about marketing from the very start. So I have also one platform, like I'm an Instagram influencer. So I have almost 12.4K followers on Instagram, and that is something I have done by myself. And I'm getting promotions, and I'm getting brands to promote. I'm also earning from it. So that's why it just came to my mind that why not transitioning myself into marketing. And I'm MBA in marketing, which I'm very keen to learn about, and I'm hoping to get into a nice college. So that's why I want to go for. And also it gives you a whole other knowledge of management. It increases your skills, which you had already but you didn't know, but it will enhance your skills like management, and the amount of personality development you will gonna get, that is something else. So, and plus law plus MBA is a niche combination. It's still coming forward, and it's such an amazing combination, because once you have a knowledge of all the legal documents, and the other you'll have the knowledge of the management, which is, I guess, the great combination. So yeah, that's why I want to go for MBA marketing.
If a person is going for a law plus MBA plus marketing kind of I would say niche element, what exactly that person would be aiming in 5 years down the line, or let's say 40 years down the line? What exactly is the short-term goals, the long-term goals? If a person has a niche in law, MBA, and the marketing, I think you're talking about MBA marketing. That's what I'm able to understand.
Yeah.
So I'm not able to actually come up with a common thread here.
So you are asking the short-term and long-term goals after MBA marketing, right?
No, I meant to say, you boarded a train, okay? It's going to one destination.
Yeah.
You have that train is called law plus MBA marketing, okay?
Law plus
now obviously that career path is going towards something, isn't it?
Somewhere, yeah.
If I'm sitting in a train, I'm going somewhere, isn't it?
Yeah.
I have a destination in mind.
Yeah.
So what is the destination? Let's say 5 years down the line, or 10 years down, or even 40 years down the line. What exactly is the destination here?
I guess if I have to talk about this, then I'll say the destination can be varies from very other places. One, you can of course be the chief marketing officer in a huge company. Second, you can be an entrepreneur of your own organization. You can open your own law firm and work as a marketeer and a law firm as a lawyer there. And the third one is you can join a market, or you can join a law firm. Like you can join some big law firms of the world, and you can approach there that, listen, I'm a lawyer as well as I'm a marketeer, and I've done my MBA from this university, and I have a knowledge of both. So I guess all these three, all this train, if going these three directions, will be the like amazing results of that train, of the passengers of the train. So I'll say, yeah. So all these, I guess, if I talk,
if one train is going for 2-3 directions, let's say north, east, and west,
yeah,
where exactly it is heading?
see, I'll say it depends on the passengers who are sitting on the trains. I cannot, if I have to talk about myself, if I am one of the passenger in the train, then I'll say I'll go for becoming the chief marketing officer in a big brand lines, because I have a huge interest in fashion, and till now I've never worked in somewhere like proper fashion world. So I would want to go for brands where I can approach my marketing as well as my legal side to them, and I can work there as a chief marketing officer. So that will be my destination, but I cannot say about other people.
Achha, now one more element of fashion even is there. Fashion means what you are in, what fashion means what?
So
what is fashion? Fashion is very big, it's a holistic.
Yeah, I know. For me, fashion is wearing your confidence. And for it took me,
I understand fashion. I mean, how you are related to fashion.
How? So I told you as I mentioned earlier that I have a platform on Instagram where I'm an Instagram influencer. I have almost 12.4K followers there, and I'm working so basically I love dancing and I love fashion. So I'm collaborating both. I'm clubbing both, and then I'm making reels and making videos and promoting brands. I have worked brands like Burger Bee, Urbanic, Stanmark, Sugar. So all these people I've worked with. I've also traveled to so many cities from their end and promoted their fashion stylist and everything. So yeah, that is a fashion for me. But for me, fashion is wearing your confidence. As simple as that. So yeah.
Achha, okay. Let me put it in some other fashion. I'm still not very clear about it. Let me put it in one more analogy to it. Let's say if you are even a cook.
If I'm a cook.
Let's say one more addition to it. Sure. Now see, what are the additions you have done? You a law, then MBA marketing, then fashion, then a dancer, all moving towards an influencer thing.
Yeah.
You say you are an influencer because you have a following. That's what the point is.
Yeah, I can say, because you are influencing whom? Your followers only. So yeah, I'm an influencer.
That's okay. So the point what I'm trying to say is how see, there are so many elements to the thing we are putting across.
Yeah.
With all these elements, I'm just trying to understand where exactly this person is heading for. Let's say 40 years down the lane. I'm talking about long-term goals. You even talk about the entrepreneurship and everything. I understand it. The point you're making is, I will be a good entrepreneur because I have so much knowledge. That's the point you're making.
So
just like, let's say if you're a leader of a state, let's say if you have a leadership skills or anything, you must be equipped with all kind of knowledge. Just like, let's say Mr. Narendra Modi should have all kind of knowledge. Am I correct?
Correct.
So the point you're making is the leader should have all kind of knowledge.
Yes, correct. Okay. So like like Priyanka Chopra said, why to stop in just one destination when you can achieve the whole world, where you can dominate the whole world.
Even if it is moving in a circle.
Even it's moving in the circle. Why to stop in just one thing when you God has given such an amazing opportunity of being a human being, and then as a human being you have this power of your brain. You can use your brain. So why to use your brain in just one direction when this is the home of opportunities. This is the home of land where millions of opportunities are waiting for the right person. So why not grab all the opportunities and work for it? What you are doing, just sitting, going to the 9 to 5 job, where is fun realize, where is your peace of mind realize? For me, the peace of mind is my Instagram and my dancing. If I'm working constantly for 5 days, I need some break from all those 5 days. So for after working so like 5 days, 9 to 5 job, I have those 2 days where I can work on myself, I can work on my skills, I can work as an Instagram influencer. So for down, I have no idea what I'll gonna do once I'll be 40. Maybe I don't want to do anything. I just want to chill and have some properties in real estate and want to earn money just by sitting at my home comfort. Or maybe I want to work. I want to work as a CMO or as an Instagram influencer. So I cannot say what I'm gonna do after my 40 years, but I'll try to be happy and I'll to be content. That will be my goal for whole of my life. So yeah.
Manali ji, see, you may have n number of skills, n number of ambitions. Every person has, but then also life is linear. If I'm going to from Delhi to
Life
Mumbai,
is sorry, life
linear,
sorry, life is
I mean,
okay.
linear, time linear होता है.
Yeah,
The 10 point, अगर 10 बज रहे हैं उसको 11 ही बजते हैं.
yeah.
9 नहीं बज जाते हैं ऑफिस. The point what I'm trying to say is, when my destination from Delhi to Mumbai, the train सीधा ही जाता है. लेकिन ठीक है, I'm through with that. See, being just a point I'm making. आपने the SOPs would be the major statement of purpose for every business school. That is why MBA and why you.
Yeah.
So if I'm talking about just the SOP point, what exactly have you written in the application? Because आप तो haywire ही answers हैं सारे.
नहीं सारे मैंने जितने भी आपको आंसर्स दिए वो सब मैंने एसओपी में लिखा हुआ है. एवरीथिंग आई हैव रिटन देयर इन एसओपी दैट आई एम अ लॉ ग्रेजुएट. I have a huge interest of being on Instagram. See, because these MBA people and this I have
मुझे एक लाइन में स्टेट ऑफ पर्पस देना चाहिए. Put in the one line your SOP.
Diversification, leadership skills, and a law graduate.
My statement of purpose, why I am doing this, one line.
Why?
Diversification अलग चीजें हैं.
Make a progression in my to make a progression and have a diversification of my opportunities. So for my progression of my personality, I want to go for MBA.
Okay, Chali Sagar, it's your turn.
Hi Manali.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm great.
Sagar Kumar. I'm a teacher at EduShastra. I have a little background in psychology as well.
Okay.
So first of all, I'll start with that. I see that you have done your BLLB from MIT, right? Can you tell me any famous alumni from that college?
Yeah. So there's Bharat Bagga. So he was quite a famous alumni from MIT. He has done, and also there's Pranav Srivastava, was also quite recognized alumni. Currently, he's working with one of the best law firm in our country, which is Phoenix, and he's the equity partner at just the age of 34. So yeah, he's a great entrepreneur, and he has always given me some very good insights about how to grow your business and how to grow as a person.
Anyone else? Any notable person?
There's Bharat Bagga. He's currently having his own law firm in Chandigarh, and it's a taxation law firm. And again, it's doing so much good there in Chandigarh. And then there's a person named Sagrika Mishra. She has done her graduation from Amity, and she went for Oxford for doing her LLM. Now she's working in one of the biggest law firm in UK. She has also passed the bar exam in UK. So bar exam in UK. So yeah, other people.
Okay. I want to talk to you about an issue which has been going on in news very recently, just in the last few weeks. Before that, a follow-up to, you can say, starting with that, can you tell me who's the Vice President of India?
Okay, Vice President of India. अरे मेरे को, I had a knowledge, but currently I'm not able to recognize the name. Not recall the name.
He also has a background in law only. He's Mr. Jagdeep Dhankar.
Yeah, Jagdeep.
Yep.
I could not recall.
It's alright. No issue. So recently, it's been in the news that he stated some concerns regarding balance of power between judiciary and legislative.
Between judiciary and legislative.
You have any knowledge regarding this? Like what has been going on?
Yeah. So though what he's saying, having like distinction between judiciary and the legislative, I'll say the power always relies in the hand of judiciary, 100%, and there is no doubt about it, because we have Supreme Court, we have High Court, then we have district courts. So power will always, but yeah, you can always give your inputs. Being a legislature, you can always give your inputs to the authority, but power always relies in the hand of Supreme Court.
So what he has done recently is essentially he has raised some concern that there's some kind of judicial supremacy over legislation, and which should not be the case. And this came on as he's had some concern that legislature could not change the basic structure of constitution.
Yeah, that's true. Legislature cannot. We have case laws for that. We have so many famous case laws over that we cannot change the basic principle of judiciary. We cannot, and we should not. Why to?
So do you feel that judiciary should be equivalent to a legislature, or it should be above it?
It should be above 100% above of legislature. Then if we put both in the same place, then how can you give the judgments? Let's say if someone has done bad in legislative, or some people of executive party has done something wrong, who will want to decide then if we put both in the same position?
Let's say that we put judiciary above legislature, then can we say that we are really a democracy?
We are
a democracy?
Yeah, we are a democratic country. There has to be some authority so that our country can work in a proper manner. Everyone should be afraid.
But people are choosing the legislature to rule the government, right? To make laws for them and everything.
If we put everyone in the same position, then there is no difference. Us as a country, and then there is a Saudi Arabia, because there people cannot stand for themselves. And because there is, you cannot say that judiciary has the above hand over everything. No, they don't have. Still their army or their legislative people has the upper hand. If you see the Pakistan, here also judiciary does not have the upper hand. There are the army people, then there is a legislative people who has the upper hand. At least in our country, judiciary has the upper hand. Everyone afraid of judiciary, and there's a saying in our country that no authority, no power is bigger than the eyes of law. There's a saying in rule of law that nothing, whosoever the person, maybe you can be the prime minister, you can be the president, that does not matter for us. You will be as equal as in front of the law. So yeah.
Okay. Another thing that has been in the news for the last year, 2022, it was basically, you must be aware of the war going on between Ukraine and Russia, right? Yeah. So can you comment on the India's foreign policy in that? What is the India stand?
So I guess India's stand is very neutral, and I guess we should go in that way only. We should not because earlier, we have a very friendly relation with Russia, earlier also and now also. And Russia being the biggest country in the world, we have a amazing relation with Russia, and we should not, because Ukraine was never on our side. Even earlier, Ukraine was never on our side, but Russia was always our side. So I'll say we should not infringe those relations with Russia. And And being said, for Ukraine, I am feeling very bad for the people who are facing all these issues, but it should not be the responsibility only for India to come across and say words according for their benefit. There are so many organizations, like there's UNC, there is WHO, there is this is UNC. All these committees can work for the peace of the world, but why to always rely in the hand of India? It should not.
Okay. So you're saying that India should remain neutral or with Russia?
According to me, it should remain neutral. I don't think they should come across, because it will influence the relation from Russia with us.
Okay. Then just my last question. This is basically in the last year, previous year. If you could just tell me about any important landmark judgments that came out from Supreme Court.
Yeah, so the last time, the one of the biggest landmark judgment came in insolvency and bankruptcy court. So earlier, like in our country, we only have this threshold of 1 crore. If a company got bankrupt, and it is giving the revenue less than 1 year, there is no platform for those, like for micro mini companies. They don't have the platform. But now, because of the last judgment, they have and like NCLT has given one amazing judgment, which said that even for these micro and mini companies, they can also come up in front of the court, even if they have less than 1 CR. Their remuneration is even less than 1 CR. So that is the biggest judgment, I'll say, for the people who have small entrepreneurs, business, small business. So yeah, I'll say that.
Okay. That will be all from my side, sir.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yes. Hello.
Yeah, hi Manali. So just relax. So the interview is over. When I talk about the why MBA and why from this university and all those questions asked by the Vipul sir. So as you said, so your one statement was always there. You are an Instagram influencer.
Yes.
So
Correct.
if you look for the whole recording for this whole discussion, there are some particular words. That is, one is a opportunity,
Yeah.
right?
And
There is a
you.
one word. Yeah, there is a one word. Use, right?
So
So
you are
these,
saying
yeah,
that I am using these
influencer.
words a lot.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the basic content, I will say the facts and figures are much lesser. If I talk about, the say written part or the say oral part of the Constitution, so this is not like a CAT perspective, or this is not like a say some Indian perspective. This is an international perspective, and there are some major points which the Constitution Committee first decided how should they go. They should go for a written constitution for India, or they should go for the oral constitution for India, right? Before finalizing it, they should design a constitution. Because all the countries which were having a effect and influence over India before the independence, most of the countries were having a the oral constitution, right? But India has decided to go for the written constitution. So there are some particular facts and some points are there, right? So these points are there, should be there. And when you talk about why MBA or all these things, so there should be some facts and figures in your content. So the statements are normally generalized, not having say some particular facts and figures. If you talk about say some cases, as I was discussing the Saudi Arabia laws and Indian laws, so you were just like go hyper, right? They are beating the women, they are beating the children. So this kind of behavior should not be there, because if you talk about that India should be neutral, you should also behave as a neutral candidate, right?
Correct.
So there should not be any biasness about say some law, because you cannot influence the other country's law, or you are not the owner of the country.
Correct.
right? So all these emotions and all these things should be controlled,
Yes,
right?
yes.
And some facts and figures should be included in the whole discussion, right? Why MBA? So why MBA? You should relate all these things that after the law, what is the importance of the management which will add up your skills and enhancement in your career perspective. Right. This is not like a Instagram influencer. I have a followers. I can be like more organized. So these are all general statements.
Okay.
Yes, Vipul sir.
I think आपने summarize कर दिया.
Okay. So Sagar, you want to add something?
No, sir, I think you covered most of the things. But I can add is basically one thing that a positive point, जैसे सर ने आपको थोड़ा बताया. इसके अलावा I'll say कि आपका एक positive point जो which is good is that you are confident about it, right? When you're speaking, you can see that you are confident. But what comes with that is
whenever I give mock interviews, I get confident. But the moment I give these college interviews, I don't know what happens. And now I've already, I have given my ISB interview. I got shortlisted, but then I didn't get into ISB. I've given the interview there, but maybe I don't know. My question, they were actually liking my answers. They were saying positive things about my answers, but maybe because my experience, I have only 3.5 years of experience, and the people they have taken is over 12 years plus experience. So, but I have actually not gone for, like, I have not got into ISB. So that is a very bad for me. Like, I literally lose all my confidence after not getting selected into ISB. So I don't know why, but this happens every time. A day after tomorrow, I have my Simon's Business School interview, and still I am getting nervous. What happened? What will gonna questions will be, and how things will go. So, and I don't know, this because of this nervousness, I start like hesitating, and I started give absurd answers of questions. So that I'm trying to working a lot on it.
So basically, the main work is work over the content, your subject, right?
Yeah.
And the current scenario with respect to the political and the social part, right? As I was discussing the Indian laws and everything and the differences and the speed up trials of all these things. So if you talk about, the say case of Mr. Talwar, right, the Arushi case, right? So they were having say, almost a 10 years plus of time to take up all these things.
Correct.
So all these like critical cases, if I talk about, they are long, having a process in whole the court system. So you just add up to like why we are having this long process and how can we cut short and give us a fast judgment to the affecting party, right?
Correct.
So this is not related to any perspective like India or something, because there are some cases which are in an international court also. They are also taking up as a long process.
Correct.
So just work over your content art and nothing else, and just go straight. And yes, nothing will affect you.